Hernando. Our library has the distinction this year of being awarded the Library of the Year from the Florida State Library System. And here to talk about that today is Adam Brooks, our Library Services Manager. And Adam, it's good to have you here today.
Thanks for having me.
And congratulations on the award.
Thank you.
Now, you've been with the county how long now?
3 years in August.
3 years in August. That has flown by, hasn't it?
Yes.
And when were you notified that we received this great award?
We found out that we received the award in March, and then we actually received the award at the Florida Library Association conference earlier this month.
Okay. And where was that?
In Orlando.
Orlando. Was that something that you attended along with some staff members?
I did, and a couple of staff members also were able to attend.
So what was that like when you were presented with the award? Was it in a big room with a whole bunch of your peers from other counties?
Yes, it was at the final luncheon on the last day.
Okay.
So everyone was there, and it was nice, very nice.
And Hernando County has never received the award before, I assume?
No.
Correct? Okay.
No.
So what did we have to do? What was the process for the award? What did Hernando have to do to be in the running for it?
You sent in an application packet documenting what you'd done over the year that was innovative and creative, and then they judged those packets accordingly through an awards committee that's set up by the Florida Library Association.
That was probably quite an involved process in itself, just to put that application together.
Yes, it was.
Okay. And with this award, what are some of the benefits of the award in your mind?
Well, I'd say the main benefit is just to be recognized as an innovative library and being one of the best in the state. I think that's the biggest benefit. And it lets our community know that the value of our library. And
right.
I think that's been very important for us over this last 6 months.
Yeah,
or so.
I mean, the timing couldn't have been better, could it?
Right, exactly.
Because as everyone knows, our library has been going through a lot of discussion every year during budget sessions with
Yes.
all of the cuts that we've endured, and the library seems like it's always right there at the top as far as cutting back hours and services, and some people even talking about cutting branches and closing branches, and it gets quite concerning to a lot of people.
It does.
And it gets to be quite an emotional issue because libraries are very important to communities. In fact, it's a kind of a trickle-down effect for the vitality of a community and people coming in and moving to a community and the vibrance of it economically and otherwise. So I think, do you think it's possible that people really put a lot of stock in the fact that our library has been given this award, if maybe they're thinking about moving here or if a business is thinking about relocating here?
Well, I think it's definitely something that businesses look at when they are trying to relocate as to quality of life. They look at libraries, schools, parks. I think that's important. And I think they couldn't look at our library system online or anywhere else without knowing that we're the Library of the Year, right. Because we're promoting it pretty heavily.
We've made it pretty well known,
right.
Which is, we're very proud of it,
yes,
as we should be. What was some of the criteria that was established that Hernando County had to meet in order to even be eligible for the award? Well,
the things that we focused on were the creativity and innovation in our programs and services in 2012, our increased recognition in the community through our marketing and branding, and the fact that we had developed a strategic plan to help focus on continuing that growth and success. A few things that we did with programs and services in the last year is, first of all, that was the first full year where we employed a dedicated youth services librarian, a dedicated learning services librarian, and a dedicated outreach person. Our programming for children was totally revamped, and we're enjoying great successes with our youngest library patrons and our new youth services librarian. We, in that genre, we increased story times from 2 per week to 8 per week at consistent days and times so people know when and where all of our story time programs are. And our summer reading program we revised completely in 2012 with a lot of help from our community partners. We got a lot of community partners that offered their services for free to help support our youth reading program. Extension Service, Weeki Wachee State Park, 100 Acre Wood Animal Rescue, Homosassa Springs State Park, just to name a few. And also, we were able to collaborate this year with the school board and get a summer program home to every child, which is something we had not been able to do in the past.
Let me ask you, in order to make all these changes, did you use the criteria of the awards program as sort of a guideline for you in making some of these changes to the library system? Did you use it as sort of a guide for?
No, I
making
think we kind of
decisions?
did the reverse. We knew we were doing some new and good stuff, and I had, as one of my goals when I came here, was to be Library of the Year for the state of Florida. And quite honestly, I didn't think we'd be able to do it that quickly.
Quick, yeah.
But it worked out well, and we were able to position all of this stuff that we're doing, and we reaped the rewards of it with an award.
I think it's especially quite an accomplishment in light of the culture that we're in right now with our with the budget situation, and you know, to be able to overcome all that and still be able to accomplish such great things in spite of the fiscal restraints and constraints that you had that working against you.
We run very lean, but we're able to do a lot with what we have.
And you mentioned partnerships, and that's really, really important with a lot of aspects of county government these days, is the partnerships with the community. Right,
and we've been trying to expand on that and collaborate with more organizations throughout the county.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So along with partnerships and actually filling some of these specific positions that were intended to reach out into the community and upgrading your children's program, what were some of the other things that you were able to accomplish?
Well, we, with our learning services librarian in place, we were able to increase our computer classes from 6 per month to 6 per week. We're also able to host some computer classes out in the community, like at the YMCA and things, like bringing the classes to the people rather than having them have to come to us for everything. Mm-hmm. We've become much more active in the Chamber of Commerce through the diplomat program and membership on the training committee. As a result of those connections, we've gotten partnerships with SCORE, Career Central, Chick-fil-A. So we've been able to really get a lot of connections that way. Mm-hmm. We began circulating Kindles about almost a year ago, and that's been hugely popular for people who want to try out one of the e-readers and see how they work in case they want to purchase one or just to try out the e-books. And then we also last year rebranded and we've been remarketing with that brand, and that's helped to really increase our visibility throughout the community.
It really you really just freshened up the whole look of the library, the website, the new logo, everything just needed some updating, and the logo is outstanding. And I know you had a local gentleman here in Brooksville actually.
He's in Hernando Beach.
Hernando Beach. Okay.
JSW Creative did that for us. And he's done a lot of work for us, and he's really great.
It just kind of sparks a lot of renewed enthusiasm, I think, with library staff and everyone associated with the library to see you doing more of the outreach and community-oriented programs and things. So it's been a great pick-me-up for the library.
Yeah, we've tried to bring a little more excitement to it.
Yeah. What about your Kindle distribution program? Do you have a waiting list for those? I'm sure you do,
At this point, I think we are where we don't. At one point, we had a waiting list of about 80, but I think now we do have some that have been able to actually renew their Kindle and use it for an additional amount of time. I
would imagine that probably a lot of people have enjoyed it to the point where they went ahead and purchased their own.
Oh yeah, I think that's been one of the main things that it's helped people with. They get to see how it works, how easy it is. Right. And then, and then the price point on those has gone down considerably, so they're able to go and get their own. And then the computer classes, are they always well attended? We almost are always full for computer classes. And are they mostly older citizens? It's all ages. All ages. What are some of the different types of classes that you offer? We right now have about 10 classes, all mostly basic. The basics of Windows, how to download pictures, how to use files and folders, things like that, just the basics. Mm-hmm. We've gotten all those written out with an instructional plan, so now we are able to have more staff who can teach at different locations, and our learning services librarian is now going to work on a second wave of things, concentrating more on job skills and interviewing skills and that sort of thing. Okay. We're showing some pictures now of some of the computer classes. I know we've got some pictures of some of the kids too and enjoying some of those classes. Talk a little bit about your children's program and what are we seeing here? I believe this one is from summer reading last year, and I think that they are making slime. with the
Oh.
extension services. Dr. Strickland and his staff have been very helpful with summer reading, and this year it's actually dirt, so it's going to be even more up their alley. But last year, I believe the concentration was insects and science, and so this, I believe that's what they're doing in this one is making the slime. And then this one, I think, is Art Attack, which is something we've started with help from the Hernando Fine Arts, that they've offered us a grant and that we've received 2 years in a row to fund this, and we do 6 of those a year.
And what does that consist of exactly?
It's just an art program for kids to learn how to do new art ideas, and they come in and do a craft with Marissa, who's one of our librarians, and she does a great job with it. She has a fine arts degree, and so.
So tell us how the summer program works. Do you have like a different session on a different topic? How long do they last? Does it last throughout the summer? Is there something like once a week for the kids? How does that work?
There's something once a week at each location for the kids throughout the summer. It lasts until first week of August, I believe, is when it ends. Okay. So we have stuff throughout the summer. We have a big kickoff on June 10th at 2 o'clock at our West Hernando branch. And then throughout the summer, we'll have different classes and activities at all different locations.
And of course, all of these activities and the programs are listed on your website.
They are. And
as well as you probably have brochures at each of the branches that people can pick up and take home with them.
We have our quarterly newsletter, which is called the Library Link, that they can pick up, and it has all the programs in there.
Okay.
Throughout the summer.
We have a picture of what the Library Link looks like. It's a very fun, attractive looking publication. It's the latest one we have is of the bunny. And that's available.
That was our spring,
too.
Right? And we have a new one that's out that will. The spring one actually goes until tomorrow. So the new ones that are out are June through August.
Is it quarterly?
It is quarterly.
Okay. So what are some of the topics can you recall just off the top of your head some of the topics that are coming up this summer for the children's program?
Well, as I said, the topic this year is digging in dirt. So we'll be doing a lot of bug things, I would imagine. We're doing some more of the Art Attack programs. We'll also be doing, as I said, our kickoff, and we'll also have the Reading with the Rays, which we've done in the past, where they can read and get rewards through that program.
And there's the Library Link. That's
right. That's our last one.
So that's a great way to keep abreast of what's happening in the library system by reading
And that's available online as well. You can go on and just print it out if you want to not have to come in and get it.
Okay. And talk about this picture.
That's the author, Tim Dorsey. He was here weekend before last. He was here at 2 of our locations, and he's been here before. He comes and speaks, does a short reading, talks about where he gets his ideas for his books, and people can interact with him and
those are some of his books on display there.
Right, that's his book display at our Spring Hill location.
Is he a local author?
He lives in Tampa.
Tampa. Okay.
Yeah, but all of his books are set in Florida,
and you do that periodically. You have authors come in and talk about their books, and then you have book discussion clubs that meet regularly.
Numerous book discussion clubs. We're doing a lot of Florida history ones this year, since it's the Viva Florida, the 500th anniversary. So.
Yeah, talk a little bit about that. What does that consist of? What's that all about, the Viva Florida 500?
Viva Florida is a celebration of the 500 years of Florida when Ponce de Leon arrived in 1493 or something.
So it's all about showcasing Florida's history?
Right. It showcases Florida history. Libraries throughout the state are doing programming around it. We're going to do a history festival in November out at the Sand Hill Reservation that we're working on putting together right now. And we'll also be putting together a time capsule to do at the end of the year.
Okay, well, that'll be interesting. So we'll be hearing more about that as we get a little bit closer to November. Okay. What are some of the biggest challenges you've had since you've been here? And you've accomplished so much and really done a great job of bringing the library system to the forefront. What have been some of your biggest challenges in accomplishing that?
Well, I don't know what the biggest challenge would be. I guess the biggest challenge for us was trying to get a real direction as to where we wanted to go with the library. We were able to sit down with a group of us and put together a strategic plan. We decided, rather than doing a 5-year or 10-year plan, to just do 3 years, because technology changes so quickly. All the book formats are changing, things like that. So we did a 3-year plan. We put that together and presented it to the board, I believe, last October, and so we have that in place now, and we'll be revisiting that on a yearly basis so that we continue with our success and where we want to go as far as the library growing.
Okay. How long did the process of doing this strategic plan take for you and your staff?
It took us from start to finish, I would say about 4 months, probably.
It's not a simple
It is not.
undertaking,
It's
is
not
it?
simple at all.
Mhm.
It's not as simple as I thought it would be, and it's not something I looked forward to, quite honestly. But it was actually a good experience. We got to come around and talk to some community stakeholders. I believe we came and interviewed you,
Right.
and it was very interesting to talk to some people who are active in the community as to what they wanted from the library system.
Did you get any surprises when you went through that interview process with those people? Were there things that you heard that you were surprised, or did you hear mostly what you would expect to hear?
There's always surprises. I don't know that it was something that I didn't expect to hear, but it was a lot of people that we surprised them with when they would say, well, why don't you do this? And we say, well, we do.
And they
That
did.
was one of the things that we learned from that we really need to do some more marketing and let people know what we have and
Right.
what's available.
There's nothing more frustrating, is there, than to know that you're doing certain things, but people don't know you're doing them.
Right. It's hard for people to really distance themselves from just the books equal library. We do a lot of other stuff
Right.
as well, and we still do books quite well also. So
It's not your grandmother's library, is it?
right, it's not.
That's a good motto.
Yeah.
So the library's mission statement is the Hernando County Public Library System is an innovative center for lifelong community enrichment, education, and entertainment, providing quality resources and services in a welcoming, customer-friendly environment. Very
That
well
sums
said.
it up for
I
us.
think it really does. In my opinion, you all are doing that. You know,
We are.
I've been using the library a lot more recently in the last 6 months
Good.
than I had in the past. I'm not sure why that is, other than the fact that, you know, with all the kids being gone, your life gets a little bit more simplified, and you find time on your hands, and you rediscover things that you used to enjoy but
Right.
didn't have the time to.
Didn't have
So,
time.
Yeah. So I'm being able to experience that, and I'm really enjoying it. I find that, you know, I mainly use the main library here in Brooksville, but the staff is so friendly and helpful, and it's just a pleasure to go in there. So,
That's something we really try to focus on is customer service and having people have a friendly interaction when they come to one of our locations.
yeah. Do you feel like now that you have, although you've had some turnover in your positions, do you feel like you have the positions in place to help you continue this as far as your outreach, community marketing, and that sort of thing?
I do. I mean, there's turnover in any organization, and so we've been able to reload, and we're going to go forward and try to do it again.
Mm-hmm. It's sort of a par for the course, I guess, that people that fill these positions they're professionals, they're young professionals usually, and they're always looking for challenges, and, you know, sometimes they're very mobile, so there is somewhat of a turnover in those
Right.
types of positions.
And we've quite honestly done good at hiring, and when you hire good people, they often are able to find other positions
Yeah.
and you know, a next step in their career.
Right.
And, you know, I welcome that.
Right.
I think my job would be to encourage them to expand.
All
so.
right, and you probably did the same thing yourself.
I did.
What are some of the things, what's on tap for the library system now for the coming year? What are some of the things that you're looking ahead to, challenges or otherwise?
Well, I think we're going to probably sit down in the next month or two and try to decide where we want to go from here as far as we're Library of the Year now. What do we want to focus on in the next year? What do we need to improve on? We know what we are doing well. I think we need to sit down and look at what we can improve on and work on those things.
Mm-hmm. Just sort of do more of the same thing, but just look for opportunities for improvement and
Right.
being able to
And then, of
refine
course,
things.
more partnerships and collaborations if we can.
Right. You mentioned that you've had more involvement in the chamber. What has that been like for you? Has that been a good experience? And
Oh,
has
yeah,
that brought
absolutely. They have a
results?
great group of people at the
Yeah.
chamber. It's just a matter of having enough time to participate in the events and have the staff that can do that.
Yeah, I think we have a really, really energetic and vibrant Chamber of Commerce
Yeah, we
here in
do.
Hernando County.
We do.
I don't know
They're
how
really
it com-
good.
I really haven't lived any place else, so I don't know how it compares, but you have. So Do you find that as well?
I do. I'm very impressed with their group.
Okay, well, good. Adam, there's a new program that I've just read about myself called the Creation Station. What's that all about?
Right. Well, we'll be actually launching the Creation Stations on this Monday from 11 to 12 at our West Hernando branch library. If it's for budding musicians, composers, directors, people like that. What we've done is kind of gone and gotten the tools to help people create that sort of artwork or music or movies. Thanks to a generous bequest that we received last year from the estate of Howard Frank, we were able to get some of the latest audio video equipment, along with a lighting set and a giant green screen that we have all at our West location. They're basically two Apple Mac Pros that are loaded with professional audio and video editing programs, and we have them in two separate quiet workroom stations for people to go in and create what they want. We're going to have on Monday live and pre-recorded demos using this equipment, and some of these tools that they have are Logic Pro, GarageBand, iMovie, Photo Booth, Photoshop Elements, and things like that people can come and play with on Monday and get some instruction on, and then if they want to reserve a time to use one of these, they can do that.
Sounds like a lot of fun. I bet that's going to be very popular.
I think it will be. A lot of libraries are leaning towards the creation piece, and I think it'll be good for us to have some of that.
So someone could come in and reserve that station for, what, a couple of hours and be able to put together their own project,
Right.
video project?
Right. And we're able to offer some instruction, and we're hoping that kind of ends up being a two-way street, because a lot of people, we think, will come in and be able to show us some things that you are able to do.
Mm-hmm. And again, that's at the West Hernando branch?
That's at the West Hernando branch, and the launch will be Monday from 11 to 12.
Okay. So thank goodness for some of these bequests that you get and these partnerships that you've talked about, because it's really helped enhance your funding.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And in this particular instance, was that the money that was left, was that specifically earmarked for this type of project, or was it just
It was
open-ended?
earmarked for, yes, for the libraries, and we were able to use those funds to do a lot of stuff with our West Hernando location and some of our Spring Hill location. He wanted to stay in that area, so.
Okay, that's excellent. That's good news for the library.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, and also you have, in the past couple of years, I guess, the library has enhanced its presence on social media as
We
well.
have.
Talk a little bit about that.
We are now on Facebook and Twitter. That's grown significantly over the past year or so that we've had it up and running. We now have a Pinterest page that we're getting ready to really launch, and as always, we have our email contact newsletter that we send out, so that people can sign up for either on our webpage or at one of our branches.
Okay, so you're really doing an awful lot in the way of reaching out to the community
Oh,
and
yeah.
communicating. And
Yeah.
talk a little bit more about your website before we close, if you like. We can put the website address up there because it's a wealth of information.
We revamped our library website last year. It's a new interface. I think it's a lot more user-friendly. Our website, the easier one to remember than this, is www.hernandocountylibrary.us.
Okay, hernandocountylibrary.us.
Yes.
Okay, that is a little bit easier than that one. So, well, Adam, good luck in the coming months as we go through our budget process. I know that's always a challenging process, and I hope you come out very well on the other side.
So do we.
I'm sure you will, because there's such support in the community for the library system. And again, if you would like more information about Hernando County Library System, you can get it at the website, or you can go to their Facebook page and like them. What are you up to? Number of likes now, do you know? Seems like you're...
I think it's around, the last I heard, around 500,
Yeah.
maybe a little more than that.
I think you're almost neck and neck with the counties now.
Oh, really?
We
Well,
just
we'll have
passed
to
700.
ramp it up a little bit.
So be sure and like
don't like to
Hernando
be in
County
second
Government
place.
too. Pardon?
We don't want to be in second place.
Oh, no, that's for sure. So anyway, we've been interviewing Adam Brooks this afternoon. He's the Library Services Manager for Hernando County, and he's made great strides toward improving our library system, and helping connect with our community and let everyone know all of the great resources that are available in our Hernando County libraries. So thanks for watching Focus on Hernando, and Adam, thanks for being here, and good luck.
Thank you. I always enjoy it.
Okay, and we'll see you again next time. Thank you.